All right, let's talk about one of the single biggest risks your business faces every single day. And maybe you haven't even thought about it this way. We're talking about your vehicles. And look, this isn't just about having insurance, it's about having the right insurance to protect your entire operation from financial ruin. Let's dive in. I want to start with a pretty serious question. So just think about this for a second. The cars, the trucks, the vans you use for work every single day. Could the insurance policy covering them actually be a ticking time bomb, just waiting to bankrupt your entire business? For a lot of people, the answer is a shocking yes. Let me paint you a quick picture. We've all seen this. A contractor, could be a plumber, an electrician, anyone really, is driving his personal pickup truck. It's the same truck he uses every day, and he's just heading from one job site to the next. Seems like a totally normal day, right? But then it happens. A moment of distraction, he glances down at his phone, misses a stop sign, and causes a really serious accident. The other driver is hurt, their car is a total wreck. So he does what you'd expect. He calls his personal auto insurance company thinking, okay, I'm covered. But then he gets the call, it changes everything. The insurance adjuster investigates, sees the tools and materials in the back, learns he was driving for work, and denies the claim. Why? Because that personal policy was never meant for business use. And just like that contractor and his business are on the hook for everything. The medical bills for the other driver, the legal fees, the settlement. That one accident can easily spiral into a 6 or even 7-figure lawsuit, and his business, the one he built from the ground up, is now staring at complete financial ruin. That whole story, it really illustrates the single biggest, and I mean most costly mistake that so many business owners make. They believe a personal auto policy is good enough. So let's break down exactly why it isn't. And here it is, the fundamental difference, laid out side by side. A personal policy is designed for your commute to an office, for grabbing groceries. It almost always excludes business use. It's not designed to cover your employees driving, and it gets really nervous when it sees tools and equipment. A commercial policy, though, it's the complete opposite. It's built from the ground up for business risk, it's designed to cover multiple drivers, and it's structured to handle the kind of lawsuits that can come from a commercial accident. So, okay, if a personal policy is the problem, then commercial auto is clearly the solution. But what exactly is it? Let's get a really clear definition. To put it simply, this is the insurance that provides coverage for any vehicle used in your business operations. And here's the really important part. It's not just for vehicles your company owns. It can extend to vehicles you lease, rent for a big job, or even, and this is a big one, your employees' personal cars if they're using them for business errands. So you're probably asking, okay, does my business really need this? Well, take a look. If you're a contractor, a landscaper, if you run a food truck or a delivery service, the answer is 100% yes. Here's the rule of thumb. If a vehicle is being used to haul tools, deliver goods, or get people to a job site for your business, this coverage isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely mandatory. And it's not just for giant semi-trucks. Commercial auto policies are super flexible. They're designed to cover everything from a normal passenger car that your salesperson uses to pickup trucks, cargo vans, and yeah, even the heavy-duty stuff, like dump trucks. The policy is tailored specifically to the vehicle and how you use it. Okay, so let's pop the hood on a typical commercial auto policy. What are the core protections you're getting? Think of these as the essential layers of a financial shield that stands between an accident and your business's bank account. First up, and this one is huge, is bodily injury liability, or BI. If one of your business vehicles causes an accident and injures somebody else, this is the coverage that steps in. It pays for their medical bills, their lost wages if they can't work, and so important, it pays for the lawyers to defend your business in court. So let's say your employee is driving a company van and rear-ends someone at a stoplight. The other person claims they have a serious neck injury. Bodily injury coverage is what pays for those claims, handles the lawsuit, and prevents your business assets from being seized to pay for a massive judgment. Next up is property damage liability, or PD. This covers damage to the other person's stuff, and we're not just talking about their car. It could be a building, a mailbox, a guardrail, a fancy storefront, basically anything your vehicle might damage in an accident. Imagine one of your delivery drivers is trying to parallel park, misjudges the distance, and backs right into a storefront, shattering a huge plate glass window. Property damage coverage is what pays the thousands of dollars to fix that building, so your business doesn't have to write that check. So, liability covers everybody else, but what about protecting your own vehicles? I mean, they're valuable assets, right? That's where physical damage coverage comes in, and it's got two main parts: Comprehensive covers all the non-accident stuff, like if your truck gets stolen, catches fire, or gets damaged in a hailstorm. Collision, just like it sounds, covers damage from an actual crash or rollover. You really need both. All right, we've covered the basics. But this next part, this is where commercial auto gets really powerful and where you can really protect yourself. We're talking about endorsements. Think of them as essential upgrades that plug the dangerous gaps in your coverage that you might not even know exist. Here are 3 upgrades that you just cannot afford to ignore. First, hired auto. This protects you when you have to rent a bigger truck for a special job. Second, non-owned auto. This one is so critical. It protects your business if your employee gets in a car crash while using their own car to run a quick work errand. And finally, there's any auto coverage, which is really the gold standard. It just bundles all of these protections together. This quote right here really gets to the heart of it. A policy is only as good as the people who are behind the wheel. And trust me, the insurance companies know this. They look at everything, what kind of trucks you have, how far you drive, but most importantly, they look at your driver's records. They're going to scrutinize your team, because one bad driver with a history of tickets and accidents can make your premiums go through the roof or even get you non-renewed entirely. So let's bring all this home. At the end of the day, we're not just talking about another insurance policy you have to buy. This is a fundamental risk management tool. It is absolutely essential for the long-term survival of your business. And to make sure you are truly protected, you have to avoid these common and very costly mistakes. We already talked about using a personal policy, but things like forgetting to list all your drivers, skipping that vital hired and non-owned coverage, or trying to save a few bucks by getting liability limits that are way too low, every single one of those is a major, potentially business-ending exposure. So the final takeaway is really simple. This coverage is completely non-negotiable. It's a shield that does 3 critical things. It protects your business from financial ruin. It protects your employees when they're on the road doing their job for you. And ultimately, it protects your future and everything you've worked to build. So I'm just going to leave you with this question to really think about. Every single time a key is turned in a vehicle for your company, every delivery, every service call, your business is on the line. After everything we've just talked about, can you honestly say with 100% confidence that it's properly protected?